to us. I'm not sure I saw it. I don't know, maybe there is an oversight. Maybe I shared it on Telegram, I do not know. Okay, just as a matter of reminder.
He shared the link on the Telegram.
Okay, you already shared it, all right, okay. That's fine. All right, I think here, okay. Was it this? Okay, it was this. Yeah, all right, so I think we stopped at midway of the full-length practice test 1. All right. So we're going to move to the number 26. All right. All right, so this identify the missing words in the following sentence within the context of UiPath Academy. Let me ask, please. I feel I should do this. I'm a teacher, a trained teacher. All right, and I'm happy to say that anyway. I'm saying it with pride. Okay, permit me to use that word. Yeah. Yes. Do you think that this approach to exam items practice, do you think this approach is okay? Do you think it makes sense? Like, what do you want to review? I know we are done with this, but it may help in other classes. So I need to take in your views. I just feel I should find out from you. All right. Do you think this is just a good approach, but it can be better? Okay. I'm not getting anything from anyone. All right. So that I would not think I'm doing something, whereas what I'm doing is simply null and void. So that's what I'm asking. Yeah, I just want to know, because it looks slow to me. In fact, we have more speed than the last batch. Yeah, I must say that we spent more time then. We spent more time then. All right. But I know that somehow it slows us down, because as a person, personally, if you want to go through these items, you can't spend 3 hours battling with tens of questions. You would have gone seriously far. So I just want to know if this is not too good, you can suggest other ways to me. There is no loss of faith in doing that. It's to make things better. All right. Okay, question 26. Identify the missing words in the following sentence within the context of UiPath Academy. That thing that we are talking about are the data type corresponding to text. It is difficult to imagine an automation scenario that doesn't involve the use of that thing. Anything in text needs to be captured. Anytime a text needs to be captured, processed, sent between applications or displayed, these come in handy unless data is structured, like a table. Okay.
The answer is text.
It's green.
It's what?
Strings.
Okay, strings. All right. Okay. All right. That's it, actually. Then question 27. When using UiPath Studio, you can create anchors. Which of the best below best describes the function of an anchor-based activity?
It's the first one, sir.
What do you say? Is the what?
The first one.
First one, have you seen it before? It's like you
Yes,
have read this, you have seen this question before.
yes, sir.
Oh, a little wonder.
Yes, sir.
Okay, others have not seen it. This is your first time of coming across this. Is anything confusing you? Searches for a UI element by using another UI element as an anchor. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, that is it actually. 28. Consider the array. This is the array. Username is that's the array itself, and then Ragnar, Lagata, Floki, John.
Lagata.
I'm sorry. That's it. I'm not. I used my intonation to call it. When I get to Scotland, don't worry, I will do better.
The answer should be Lagata, sir.
Okay, that very funny one. Okay, good. Then need to go. No, nothing. I think it's not. Now, UiPath platform can be used to create workflows. Which component of UiPath is used to do this? These questions. Now, nobody's asking. Nobody's wondering who said this question now. But when it gets to some aspect, we're asking who said it. Because these are like takeaway. Okay, identify the missing words in the following sentence within the context of UiPath Academy. Oh, it's already on. No problem. JIT is a version control system. Is it a distributed, centralized, concentrated, or decentralized?
Centralized.
Distributed.
Okay, we have centralized, we have distributed. Okay, centralized. What is centralized? How does centralized system work? A centralized way of government or handling resources, maybe in a company. When it is centralized, how does it work? When it is distributed, how does it work?
Like there's a main source that every other system taps in.
Okay, that's centralized.
Yes.
Is that centralized? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and what is distributed?
Then there are like many sources, multiple sources that you can get the same values from.
Okay, and now in the case of if I start a work on my PC, and then I of course will have a link to the repository in JIT, and you pull it down from your own end. Would the codes from my side, will it be different from the one from the side? And
No, sir.
okay, will I be the one determining the progress of the work, since I was the one that started it? Is
No,
there any way
No, sir.
okay. So since I'm not in charge, then we cannot say it's centralized. Like there is no control system as in anchored to a particular place. Do you get the scenario I'm trying to paint? I'm not okay, so that's why we would not go for whether they're concentrated or whatever. They're centralized. It's distributed. Okay, we can use this to maybe drive home the point. This is a decentralized system. The key person is at this hub, and then this is me distributing to other hands. Okay, here is decentralized. This is more or less this one, and the distributed is kind of connected, but not the same thing as distributed. But this is distributed. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Is orchestrator this thing a centralized system?
Is it a centralized system? Like, no, does it? Can we say that it's a centralized system? from the angle of the developer, like let's decipher this let's pieces it. Okay, when you as a developer, when you control your robot, how it should function, and you assign roles. Of course, the versions we have will not afford us to do all of that. Okay, and you assign roles that so person is in charge of this, is in charge of that. Okay, it's that for me. It looks like there is still a control. There is still an ownership at a point, giving out permissions to other points, to other hands. So in that case, you can say it is a centralized system. If you have any objection, you can
that's what I thought too, sir.
Okay. If there's any objection in the house, we can look at. Don't forget that orchestrator is like a server that controls what happens at other ends. Do you understand? So, and what do you actually do when you have a server application at your head? You control other branches, what is going on at the other ends. Meetings. 31. Identify the missing words in the following sentence within the context of UiPath Academy. That thing are the tools used by software teams to manage the collaboration on large projects. They allow a developer to track a code change, review the history of the code, and revert to a previous version of the project if needed. And what is that thing?
Yes, sweet.
Okay, yes, I intentionally left it this way. So let's go. Okay, I need more views, please.
I think
it's GIT, sorry.
No,
version control.
Version control, sorry.
Version control. I call version control system. All right. Okay, that is GIT is one of the version control systems. It's just one. We have others like SVN and TFS. So GIT is one of them. Okay. Question next. 32. Review the following business scenarios. Bringing together two databases of employees extracted from two applications, checking which of the clients from the first database have been contacted in a marketing campaign and which is in database 2, checking which of the suppliers of a company internal base have applied for public aid. That's public aid database. So how many databases do we have now? We have here is like we have 3. We have let's look at it again. Bringing 2 databases of employees together. Okay, started from 2 applications. Okay, and then this one checks for clients. Which of the clients are we contacting the marketing campaign? All right, client against this marketing campaign against this. And then checking which of the suppliers of a company, the internal database has applied for the, I've applied for public aid database. So we are having this other. So which of the following options is best suited for this application? We have join data table, link data table, merge data table, combine data table.
Join data table.
Join data table. All right. Okay. In join data table, it gives us the option of combining 2 tables, bringing in an operation that will exist between columns. Okay, and so that's columns of the first table and the second table. If you want to add it, and then there is this feature in join data table, the inner, the left and the full. Okay, I don't know if that will be a question on its own. So, but we are moving UiPath Studio. However, but actually the truth is join data table, link data table. I don't know anything around that. Merge, okay. Combine, I don't also know anything about combine. Okay, but join data table actually fitting so perfectly. You can explore it later. Question 33. Question 33, we have which of the following can be used to improve the calendar page selector so that it would work for all dates in 2020 exclusively? Sorry, Jagaban is there. Okay, all right, so you have these options now.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, you want me to do?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
The question is not clear. Yeah, the question is not clear. I didn't understand the question.
Okay. Sorry, give me my please.
I think it's visa.
Sorry. Okay, so sorry. So, which of the following can be used to improve the calendar page selector so that it would work for all dates in 2020 exclusively? Okay, yes, this is actually about selector and about wildcards, such a way that if you want to maybe capture all dates in a particular year, and that year has been specified 2020. And just imagine that when you were trying to develop your work, it was done on the 8th of July 2020. Okay, but you want that automation to do the same thing regardless of dates, such that the dates will not be a barrier. So that means you need to apply wildcard such that it captures all the dates. So even when we move to another day, week, whatever, as long as it's within 2020, it still captures that date. So that's what the question is about. It's just to test the wild card knowledge on white cards. Yeah. So is it clearer?
Yes, sir. I think the answer is
Yes, sir. It's clear, sir.
Okay.
Just that we don't know.
Okay.
I think it's visa.
Me too. I go with B, sir.
What do we have in B? We have we have the title. Everything hence everything we still have it up to calendar. Everything has calendar, even up to calendar.
It indicates 2020.
So everything up to calendar. So yeah, from this end, we have the white card asterisk 202. Of course, it must indicate 2020. Okay.
First one, they can actually impute anything and it will work. Could be 2023,
Okay.
2020.
Yeah. Okay. But we wanted to. They said 2020 exclusively. This exclusively, it's very important. Okay. It must be in 2020, and we have another 2020. So what happens to this?
This one specifies
That's
the week.
week of.
Okay, actually, what what this will do is this asterisk will capture any other thing that comes there. So whatever it is, it handles it. Don't forget white cards. Sorry, the question mark is for a single character, while asterisk is for multiple characters.
Exactly.
All right, so I also think this should go. Yeah. All right, 34. What can you tell about the current project by looking at the status bar? This is the status bar. We have this, the commits, the changes, the the name, okay, of the project we're working on, and the branch. Okay, so number one says the project is connected to a version control system. Does that come
Yes.
in?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I think it does. Then number two option says let me take it. The number two option, let me remove this. I don't know how this one is got there anyway. Then this one says we are currently working in a feature branch. Does that come in?
No.
I don't know,
Okay.
sir. I'm not sure.
Okay. Number three says the project has been committed twice
It's wrong.
since the last
No.
poll.
No, sir.
Okay.
That's
sir.
wrong.
No, sir.
Okay. The next says one change has been made
That's correct.
since the last commit.
No.
Watch.
No.
Okay.
Okay, change. No.
No.
Okay. The next
Two
says
changes.
two
Yes,
changes
two
have been
changes. Yeah,
have
that
been
one
made
is yes.
since two changes. Okay. I think there's another one.
Yes.
Then there is another one that said the project has been committed since the last poll.
Yes.
Yes.
So which
Yes.
ones?
Yes.
Which one? I think we picked this. And
the two.
Yes, sir.
Two changes.
E and S.
Okay, so this, all right. So from my own side too, I'm also thinking same. We also have
What's
another
the
one.
future?
Yeah, we also having another option here.
Master branch. It's correct. Master.
Yes.
We are currently working in the master. We have master there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the feature branch now? And this is matchup. This is the master. We also have. I recall that we have main, we have master. We are currently working. This one says we are currently working in a feature branch. The other one says we are currently working where in the master branch. Okay. So the master branch, essentially, we have the main, the master branch in the control in the virtual control system, in JIT especially. Okay. The feature branch. Well, what does it want to bring out from there? I'm trying to look at what does the feature branch mean. Does anyone have a clue? I had Vivian said no.
I think the master branch should be where the workflow originated from.
Vivian.
Sir?
Okay, you want to help us in a way? You had Joe.
And what I know is that the master branch, I think it should be the current branch where it's located or something like that.
That's the mess, and the main branch.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I think the branch future is the previous versions, while the master is the current one.
Okay,
That's
the master is the current.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay, the future is the what?
The previous versions, the previous version.
Previous versions. That's what the like what has been done in the past.
Yes, what has been done in the past. The current one that you are working on, you know, you have been working on the current one. The current one you have been working on is the master one. Why the one that you have been, what's the name? You have been committing, that is pushing.
Update version.
The update ahead, the update
Out,
version. Those are the branches, future branches.
Okay, because there are some terms that are being used when it comes to branches. You see feature branch, you see develop branch, here main, here release branch, all those terminologies. Yeah, yeah, okay. Like I think it was it's
Hello,
Babala.
sir.
Hello, yeah, Amarachi.
Okay, sir. I think feature branch is all about the copy of the main code where developers they can work on new feature until the code is complete or the changes is complete.
Okay. So like now, if I can you give me a scenario?
It's
Can you
just
help?
like when there is a kind of new implementation, you
Okay,
have a project you are
all
working on,
right,
there is new implementation. Yeah.
all right. So we call in the we call in the we can call in one of those. We can call in, for instance, the feature branch.
Yeah.
Okay, and begin to work on it. Review the codes. Okay, they are so the feature branch. They are offshoots of the main. Can say they are. Can we say that it's the offshoot of the main branch? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Okay. Can we say it is an offspring, like it is
A
an
product.
it's product. Okay. Thank you. Can we say it is a product of the very first the
Code.
starting off point?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So just trying to use the different words. Okay, so the feature branches they are like advancement and updates the reviewed version of the very foremost branch, very foremost work has been done. Okay, so the three we fit into that as we have picked it. 35. Which factors should be considered as criteria for breaking down a project into different workflows? Which factors should be considered as criteria for breaking down a project into different workflows? Yeah, we have, I think this should be all the, let me see. Okay, those are the options we have. I think we have done something similar, but not exactly this. What factors should be considered as criteria for breaking down a project into different workflows? We have this having set of activities serving different purposes in the same project. This will take us into some debate. Using more than one application. Then number 3, using decision points inside automation projects. Then number 4, all the listed options.
So I'm going with the first option, sir. Having set of activities serving different purposes in the same project. So that's the number 1 criteria for to separate, to break down the project into different workflows.
Okay. Is there any objection to that?
No, sir.
Okay,
Just an addition. I think
an addition
using
now.
more than one application too should be a reason
Okay.
to consider.
All right. Do we any objection to that? Okay. There is definitely an objection, if not some objections, since there's silence in the house. Okay, let me call on names now. So Dami.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with Joe that using more than one application should be a criterion for breaking down a project into different workflows?
Yes, I agree, but I feel all the listed options will go for.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
covers all.
You are working on it. Oh, so then there is no objection then to what Joe said. Okay, so using decision points in automation projects, using decision points as a criteria for breaking. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any objections to this?
I'll go with all the listed options.
All right. Okay, so that's it. Yes. These are various reasons why we can, and we have more doubts for which could inform. We should have a project to be split into different into some workflows, which can be like maybe integrated into a bigger one. All right. Now, what is the best workflow type to use for the following problem statements? We want to create a robot that searches stock information daily and then creates a report based on it. Okay, so we have this one: state machine, collection flow chart, control flow sequence. Sorry.
Sequence should.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, Amarachi. Yes, you have the floor. Yes, I'm not. Hello, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. What can we call a problem statement?
A problem statement.
Statement, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. This, which is the best workflow type to use for the following problem. Yes, this is like you are approaching a developer. Someone is approaching you and they say that, see, engineer, please, we want you to create a robot that can help us to search through stock information. The person works with Nigerian Stock Exchange and said, we want you to help us create a robot that can search stock information daily, and then it will help us to just generate reports based on what has been. So that's a problem statement. So what you have in this whatever code is a problem statement. And then so you are now thinking, maybe you and your co-developers or so, you're not like, what can we use? I mean, this is so in that process you may think of, okay, this thing, because it's because it's stock exchange, they can decide to apply the very complex one. Let's use state machine now. They will pay us big time.
Sir, I think a sequence should do the work, sir. A
Sequence should do that, sir.
sequence should do the work. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Why? But why now?
Well, if you see it, the robot to just search stock information daily. Guys, it's going to be searching information and create a report. That means it's daily report also because it's daily. Then create a report based on the on what it has done. So a sequence should be able to do that.
All right. Okay.
So
Yes.
another reason is that it's a simple project. I don't think it's a complex project. Looking at the problems,
it's a linear. It's going
Yeah,
to
that
be.
was the reason why I asked what problem statement. It's just like a project, right? A project you want to build on.
Yes. That's a project. This is a project. They're just using UK English for us. So this is a project. This is the That's the main thing we want to tackle. You get it? Okay. I sequence actually should fly. Should do it. Okay. It's simply search for stock. Just search for information. How is it going to do it? If it is a browser based or application based, whatever it is, just search it. You just search for it, extract the data, create, then based on parameters must have maybe included, then it just generates reports. That's all. No decision, nothing is involved. We have 37. Yeah, scenario, you are working on a new automation project and need to, okay, it's already there, reviewed, all right, and need to get the project template, which is already stored in a remote Git repository. Which option do you need to use in the studio team tab?
You clone it.
Clone.
We clone it. We clone it. When you want to take it to Git repository, others can access it. That's Git in it. All right. So 38. Yeah, considering the below settings, okay, when will the workflow execution be paused? Good. When will the workflow execution be paused? Let me expand this. Okay. All right, so we have the condition. So it's a conditional breakpoint. That's when it's okay. Of course, we have the row and to go through the first thing, and then if it contains the string called Alex. All right, and we have the it count. Okay, we don't have any log message. All right, so no log message. So now these are the options you have there. I hope it's not too small. Is there any other one? But there's still one more. Wow. Can you see everything at a go? Let me just do it. You know, it when it reaches the activity holding the breakpoint a third time, and the row value in the first name column is Alex. Number 2, when it reaches the activity holding the breakpoint a second time, and the row value in the first name column is Alex. When it reaches the activity holding the breakpoint and the row value in the first name is Alex. Whenever the row value in the first name column changes to Alex for the second time, when it reaches the activity holding the breakpoint, okay, the ones that are close, I think it's the first two, but we can actually review this, can check it. So let's oh, sorry. Okay, okay. I think maybe I'll relate to this. Hello. Let's be. Should I scroll up? All right, now maybe we can take off some things to help. Now, starting from below, when it reaches the activity holding the breakpoint, if you look at this, when it reaches the activity holding the breakpoint, so what about all the other conditions involved? The hit count, the condition is not reflecting. So that makes that also take it off. Whenever the row value in the first name column Alex changes to, now we are talking about contains. We are not talking about the change, or we are not formatting anything. We are talking about if it contains. So when it contains Alex, so we are not talking about when it changes. That's not the issue. Yeah.
Okay. So I just had a suggestion that the second one, I think it makes the condition. That is the second one that says that when it reaches the activities holding the breakpoint a second time,
I think is it this?
Valid. The second one.
Okay, this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because this is actually looking at the hit counts. Yeah, that is what that. So when it hits that the second time, so then I'm sorry, please. So sorry. All right, so when it goes through the row, finds Alex, and it hits, it counts 1, 2, second time, then the workflow execution will be paused. So if this place, if there is a, where is it now? If at this point the log message, if there is maybe if the message is logged there, with a trace, like applying trace there, then that's you can call that a trace point, because you're applying a trace in the logged message of the breakpoint settings.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sorry, sir. What is the last? What is the final answer?
The second one, this
Okay.
is it is it.
Okay.
And when it reaches the
When
activity holding the breakpoint the second time, based on this, the number of counts, it counts.
Oh.
Where is it now? This is the second time, and the low value in the first name column is Alex.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
39. Review the following business scenarios. I need to redo this. Okay, review the following business scenarios. An invoice that has 3 potential statuses: not started, pending, approved, and 3 set of actions for each one. Scenario 2. A process of automatically ordering raw materials to 4 suppliers based on certain conditions. Which of the listed control flow statement types is best suited for this application? So already, switch. Okay, this has been able to control even the option. So query will not come in there. So we only have to switch the if. Even loop will not come in, because this one is activation based control flow. So then we have the if. When it is if, we are having like 2 possible values, and then
possible value.
but
So switch.
when it is multiple, beyond 2, then we have the switch coming. 40. You are working on a project and the robot cannot find an element, and
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, yes.
Yes, sir. You said if that when you have 2 possible values. What if we use I'm not saying it's the answer is not correct. I'm just
I get you. What if we decide to branch it further? Yes, but it's still at the conditional level. It is still that it's put it at 2. Do you understand? It's this condition that will split it into here or there, just 2. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yes, and then you can now use, well, as in you understand the terrain. So when you move away from that condition, you can still go into, okay, still decide whether you are going left or right, and just 2 possible values. That's what it's trying to do there. Scenario. You are working on a project and the robot cannot find an UI element. If it is not available on the desktop, how long will the robot try to find the missing UI elements? Okay. All right. It's a tricky kind of, simple but tricky.
30,000, sir.
Okay, I had you.
what's the last option?
More options. What's it called? Let me check. It seems that's the last one. Oh, can you imagine? They have even. Okay, they still have. Oh, good. They have given you different options. So we have 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds. What's it called? The robot will wait forever until it can find the element there. We have the activities timeouts. It's about property value.
The activities timeouts properties value.
Yeah, that's the.
Okay. Now, but what would be that suggests that's your input as a developer, like what you are imputing. Okay, but the default time time range that it will take the robot to wait until it throws an exception is how many seconds?
30 seconds.
30
30
seconds.
seconds.
3 seconds.
Yes, that is
That's
the
30,000 milliseconds. If you
sorry,
cut it in milliseconds.
30,000
milliseconds.
Exactly. So you even if you have this option, let's say you have the default. Let's say the coinage of the question is what's the default time for robot to throw an exception if it doesn't find an element. Okay. The fact that they have put default now, if you have 30,000 milliseconds, you also have 30 seconds. Just drop your knowledge of physics somewhere and embrace the knowledge of what's it called now? Just embrace it, the knowledge of UiPath. How do I mean? This because they record their own time in milliseconds. You get so you just have to pick this 30 seconds, 30,000 milliseconds, and look away from the 30 seconds. Though they are the same, they are the same. I don't know if you got what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
they just want to look at if you are sticking to the conventions that is appropriate. Okay, and this is 41 scenario. You have added an invoke workflow file activity in the main exam to invoke the process invoices workflow. Next you need to pass a data table called invoices dt from main file to process invoices. All right, so the picture here is you have the picture is passing data, between workflows using arguments. That's the point. The main file is there, and then the process, the invoked file is also there. So, which of the following actions are required?
That is B.
Declare an
declare
out
an
argument.
argument in
Out
main.
argument in
To declare an
Out
Out.
argument
Okay.
in
out
main.
argument in main.
It is out in main.
to declare an out. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Out
Yes, sir.
An out
argument in
argument
main.
in main.
Okay. Okay, let's look at it again and again. Why did you say that, please?
Okay, no.
Yeah, the scenario they created is that you need to pass a data table called invoice underscore dt from mail. So meaning the mail is the main file that you're working on. Why then you process invoice does it? So this is the second file. So the mail is the main file where we are going to have the variable invoice underscore dt. So, and we want to access that variable from process. So meaning that invoice is going outside the main file.
Okay,
So it will be out argument.
the what's it called now? The data table. Where are we? Where are we creating it? That one is a what? It's a the data table. Where are we creating it? Where
In
is
mail.
it?
We are
In mail.
creating it in mail. Yes.
Hello.
Okay, Amarachi, you
Hello.
have something? I can hear you. Amarachi. Okay. All right. So okay, you are creating it in main, and you want to. Okay. What about our argument then?
I would take declare an in argument in process invoices.
So we have, I think the first party selected this, so we have issues to debate now. To debate on this. Okay. So all right. And if you look at this one says to declare an out argument in name. Okay. This one says to declare an in argument in process. All right. So it looks like
Hello,
okay. So now we need to understand, get our conventions right. So where is the argument? Where is it?
Sir, the
Okay.
argument will be
hello,
in main.
sir. Hello, sir.
Yes. Okay.
It
I
should be in
know.
May.
The
Hello, the
argument will
argument
be in
should
main.
be in May, sir.
In main, according to the scenario.
The argument will be in main.
Yes, according to the scenario. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
according to scenario. Yeah.
Okay. If the argument is there in main, and we want to pass data table invoices DT to, so we declare it. So that's why you said we have to declare it out.
Yes, sir. In May, because it's invoked in the main what's the workflow.
Main file.
That is in the main file. Yes. The invoke is in the main file. So the invoke is in the main file. For me, you said you added an invoke workflow file activity in main. So since the invoke is in main, so I think the declaration of the out should be also, the argument should also be in main.
Okay, I need more views, objections. Yeah. Yeah, Vivian, you said it's that we have to declare an in argument in process invoice. Like, so that suggests that we are to create the argument in process invoices. That's what it means. So that we can take in what has been we can take in what has been created in what's it called now, in main. Am I using your language?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But this other version, these people, they are saying that we have to take it out, declare an house argument so that we can. Okay, so who should I go for now?
So I'm
Hello,
going with
hello,
A.
sir. Hello, sir.
Yes,
So
I'm
what
with you.
happens to A?
Hello, sir. Both of them are true. But in this scenario now, the main answer in this scenario now is declare an out argument in main. Because in the scenario they gave us, you are adding an invoke activity. They didn't say you are adding an invoke activity in process invoice file, but in the main file. So since it's in the main file we are working on, it should also be in the main file. We should declare out in the main file. We should declare an out argument in the main file. That's my own contribution, sir.
Oh,
Hello.
okay. Yes, Amarachi. Yeah.
Please, can somebody help me to explore A? That's to learn A option.
To
We
explain.
can't hear you.
We didn't get you.
Can somebody help me to explain A option?
Okay, can somebody help me to explain A option? This.
Hello, sir.
No,
What
yes.
what A
Yes.
option is? What A option is saying is that you're going to add an argument from process invoice, and that argument will be declared as the direction will be out. So, and indirectly, what it's saying is that you are going to use this particular argument, you are going to use it in any file you specify, meaning the argument is working outside this process invoices. That is what it means.
Hello?
Amarachi, go ahead.
Hello, I can hear you.
Amarachi, go ahead. Amarachi, go ahead.
Explain the option A. Sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, someone did.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello, I just did.
Yeah, I said, can somebody help?
And now,
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat? I couldn't see what you said.
okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
I
sir.
said was that the first option meant is that the argument will be declared in process invoices and will be used in any specific outside will be used outside the process invoices. That is what it means.
It will be declared in process invoices. Did you say that? Did I hear you say that?
I said the argument will be declared in process invoices and used outside the process invoices.
So I want to clearly understand something as well. You have added an invoke workflow file activity in main. So it means if you are invoking, does it mean, let me ask like that, does it mean that if you are trying to invoke a workflow file activity in main, that it means we are requesting for the file activity from process invoice file in main, right? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you, but I
Okay, I
can't
said,
get your question.
okay. I said
We
we are
can
trying
hear
to
you, but
invoke like the first line. The first line, you have added an invoke workflow file activity in main. So if you are trying to invoke in main file, right, then it means we are trying to request for the for an activity from process invoice file in main, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then which of the following requires? Okay. Then you need to pass a data table called invoice from main to process. Okay. Still looks confusing, Cha.
Okay, now let's go on break. By 20, what was it called now? 27. I should make it the round figure, but 2027, we will come to this. All right, so we'll come to settle our rift issue of arguments. Oh, we are already on argument, so maybe that's why we also argue. Okay, so 2020.
Okay.
Except we all said, or we are all saying that we don't go to public.
We want it, sir.
Okay, to readjust. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So by 20, let's make it 20. 20. That will be 2030 then. Let's make it 2030. So yeah, that's 12 minutes. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's been a long break, 12 minutes. Yeah, but yes, 12 minutes that we've been on break. Okay, so I think we need to continue. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right,
We can hear you, sir.
so have we come up with points to clear up the arguments? We are on we were on the point when we went on break. Okay, yeah, that means
Yes, sir.
oh, okay, yes, I think you want to say something.
Yes, sir. I finally agree that it will be declared an out argument in main.
Okay, declare an out argument.
Yes, sir. Because we are next. You need to pass a data table called invoice DT from main. Since we are trying to pass a data table from main, then it means we want to carry it out from main to process invoices. So we'll just declare an out argument in main file.
Okay, now do declare the argument in the main or in the process uh, invoice file. So you are saying that it is in the main we declare an argument. That's
Okay. Yes, sir. We declare the argument in main. Then we'll just okay an out argument in main.
no, I'm not here to confuse you. No, if I'm asking, no, it's not to confuse you. Okay, so if we are declaring our arguments in main, and then we are taking invoice. Next, you need to pass a data table called. Now, this data table called invoice DT. I suppose it's a variable. Hello.
Yes, sir. We're here.
Is it a variable or an argument? Or it's an argument.
It's an argument.
Okay. All right. So
It's an argument because we want to move it to we want to use it in process
we want to
invoices.
use it in processing, but so that's why we have to declare. Let me look at the options again. Declare it out from main, sorry, and then the other option says you now declare it in the process invoice. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think the direction, um, the directional inputs or style of argument makes it kind of dynamic, such that what is coming in, what is going out from main becomes
Hello, sir.
hello, it becomes something that is coming, that is taken in. That's if you are creating it in and the other file, the process invoice file, then it becomes okay. This is to be used. This data is to be used in this file. So that's why I keep asking, where is this argument, the invoice detail? Where is it? Where are we going to create it? If it is in main, okay, then we are declaring it out in main. But if we are creating the argument in process invoices, then that means that we'll be taking it in as we'll be declaring it as in.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I think from the question, he said next you need to pass a data table called invoice DT from main. They have said they have already specified that data table is from main. So meaning the argument will be created in main, then it will be out to exactly, it will be sent out. So that is what it means.
Okay. No, I agree with your explanations. Sorry, Vivian. Yeah, Vivian, I think we still have one more person on the side. Okay. Now, review the following business scenarios. Data is extracted from a UI field and forwarded to another workflow without processing. About the second issue, two versions of the same Excel file are being compared column by column. The columns are different in terms of data type. The only relevant thing is which entries have changes. Which of the following variable types is best suited for this application?
Sorry, sir, please, I have to just ask the question. Is it in or out?
Okay. With respect to the former question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, since it's from the explanations provided, if the argument is being created in main, so the invoice DT will be declared out, so that it becomes useful in process invoicing the other file.
Okay, so it will be out, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I think this question we are solving now, the answer is collection.
Okay. This collection, did you say collection?
First,
yeah. Wait, so this is variable types. We are looking at variable types here. Which of the following variable types is best suited for this application? Which other one exists? We have generic value. Which other one? We still have other options. We have numeric. Okay, so we have numeric, we have generic value, we have array, we have collection, we have string, we have boolean.
I'll go for generic value.
Why generic value? Based on the scenario, why generic value?
Because it says the columns are different in terms of data type. So right now we really don't know the data type, and it says the only relevant thing is which entries have changed. So I think generic value would be right.
Okay.
I think it's good.
If Vivian was supporting generic value too, then what did those that spoke after Vivian, what are you saying?
Joe.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yes, like I said, I will go for generic value because he said two versions of the same Excel file have been compared column by column. The columns are different in terms of data types.
As in, it's not the same.
Yes. So, and generic value can contain different types of data. So I think that for my own opinion, sir, I'll go for generic value. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And then also we have looking at this. Can this also explain? Can it have a way of explaining or determining our choice? Data is extracted from UI field and forwarded to another workflow without processing. We don't know what is contained in the extraction. It can just be anything. Well, this of course it really drives home the point. It could be string, could be anything. All right, so we move. It's generic value. Output actions. Output actions are used in UiPath either to extract data, yeah, in general as text from a UI element. Output methods are what enables output actions to extract data from UI element. What are output methods? Sorry. Which are output methods used in UiPath? Select 3. Do you know the output methods without revealing everything?
Type into clicks.
No. That's inputs. We're talking about input. This time around, we're talking about. In fact, type into when we talk about output input methods.
Okay, output.
We are talking about default simulate clickers. We send you know this message. The input actions. We are talking about all those type into click and over and the rest. Okay. Then yeah, this is output. Vivian.
Number one should be native.
Okay, native.
Native.
Okay.
Then we also have full test, get full test, but I don't know if it's among the options.
What did you call? How did you call it now? Native. Which other one?
Full text.
We have get full test. We have screen scraping. We have OCR. We have I didn't just let's go down and so I will see the options.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes,
You have
computer vision.
No, OCR.
Don't forget, we are looking at what? We are looking at methods, not actions.
And full text, OCR, and native.
Full text, OCR, and native. All right. Agreed? Do we agree with it? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's it. You can move. 44. Which of the following are recommended components of a catch block?
Log message activity. Let me click on.
You say what?
I think this log message activity. Because I remember one study that you guys were doing catch block and you imputed the log message activity. So,
Did you just say you guys?
no, sorry. Like I think there was a time when we were trying to do this.
What I'm trying to say is that are you not part of, you are talking as if it's our business. You not part of the business?
Well, me, I'm just on the quiet side. I mean, I just observe, so I don't really know much.
Vivian, okay. Okay, this is the time for us to laugh. 8:46. So, all right. Okay, so you said log message activity as part of the recommended components of a catch block. All right, any objection? Which other one? I think we can have the multi-select. Which other one, please?
So, an alternative to the approach that fails.
Okay. And how does that come in?
Hello,
Why
sir.
did you select that?
Yeah, because we will
About
need
the other
like yes.
I didn't get you. I just had yes.
Try
other
catch. Try
catches.
catch.
Okay, someone was saying something at the background.
Yes, sir.
So,
That's like alternative catches. You know, you can prescribe catches. So in case that one does not work, there should be a backup catch.
okay, yeah. So we have the answers here.
Joe,
Are,
king of try catch.
and
Yes,
an alternative to the approach that fails and a log message activity. 45. Scenario, you are working on a new project which is using reframe work. You have been instructed to create and store the configuration values apart from the settings file. The config file, which is configuration file, will be used during initialization. Why would this structure be desired? You are working on a new project which is using reframe work. That's a reframe work. Yeah, reframe work. You have been instructed to create and store the configuration values apart from the settings file. This config file will be read during initialization. Why would this structure be desired? There are less errors when reading a file versus running the configuration settings from the project. None of the listed options. Reading a unique file is much faster than running the configuration settings. Project maintenance is efficient. Changing the content of a config file is easier than changing the project. All right, project maintenance is efficient. Changing the content of the config file is easier than changing the project. This is what Where was talking about. Where is it now? That is what's it called? Is the framework part of? Is it part of what we should be expecting? And in my own way, I truthfully answered the question the way it appeals to me from my own observation too. Okay, that the framework. Yes, I also have seen it, but just see one will just train in. Okay, so but then it's going to be likely looked at the advanced stage. Okay. Now in any framework, like what the framework we have in studio, it's a template. It's a template that could help you work. It gives you an environment that where you can add, bring in everything that actually operates in a normal real world setting. For instance, like let's put this down. Okay, here. All right, so this is the initialization stage, of course, the entry point, and this is the stage that reads, this is where the config file that we talked about will be read. And what is the config file? Okay, if you read this notation, read configuration file and initialize applications used in the process. It's like it's a very germane aspect in a workflow. The config file can be found in your project folder. It comes by default. There is an Excel sheet called config file. You can also create your own, of course. And what you have here, this template, I said it's a template. You can create your own as you deem fit. So the config file can be found in data. Okay, you see it here, config.xlsx. Right, so, and if you open it, where is it?
Data.
It helps you to host so many things that will be useful in your project. Okay, like now we have name of anything. We have asset, the orchestrator asset folder. Now, when you populate this place, all right, accordingly, of course, all this can be changed. We have this. It's a template, so this is what the template is saying, but it can be changed. Right, so we have settings, the constant, the assets, and now when you populate this, now at the point of initialization, it simply reads this file and reads what you want it to read. Okay, now the question that is being looked at, the question in question. Understand what I mean? The question 45 is asking that you are working on a new project which is using that framework I just showed. You have been instructed to create and store the configuration values apart, like you saw, from the settings file. This configuration file will be read during initialization. Why would this structure be desired? Number one says that there are less errors when reading a file versus running the configuration settings from the project. Number three says reading a unique file is much faster than running the configuration settings. That is not true at all, because the initialization process is just going to, call on the information we have in your configuration file, read it, and then use that to start. If it is that you have stored your configuration file with some directories, directories of files. So what's your configuration file with? What's your initialization process will do is to visit your configuration file and read what you have put, the directories you have imputed in your configuration file. So it makes the process actually smooth, good, and that is why project maintenance is efficient. Why? Because changing the content of a configuration file is easier than changing the whole project. You can change the data you have in your Excel file, that's the configuration file. And when you change it, your program because it's reading the file, it's going to adjust itself based on the information it's seeing in the configuration file. Now, just imagine that you have used different activities like get directory, all of those things, get credentials, all those things. You have used them in the major work. If something goes wrong somewhere with any of those activities, then you will have to spend maybe more time or so, like, and the job will not even be neat. It will become so complex. But having the configuration file, you know, in a way separated for
Hello, can you see? We can't hear you, sir.
hello, can anyone hear me?
We can hear you now, sir.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yes, I was thrown out shortly. Yeah, sorry. All right, so that's yeah, that's about configuration file. The reason why it becomes neater, seamless, more effective um, when we have it. When we have it stored apart from, you know, from when we have it stored um, separately, and we have to use the initialization process to read values in it. (46), which is the best workflow.
What is the answer?
Okay, yes, I thought I said it. I said project maintenance is efficient. You can better manage your project when you have your configuration file, you know, because you based on what I said earlier, which I don't want to come now, your work, your initialization process that actually depend on the values in your Excel sheet, in your configuration file, we read your configuration file, the values in it. Okay, and it is better to read it than for you to have built work. For instance, let me use this for instance. Let's say you are creating maybe assets, or um, let's say you are creating assets. Now, for you to do that using activities, um, now it will be a lot of work compared to when you have just stored your configuration file with some values that represent your assets. So what we what makes your work efficient is that you don't have much to do, as in more work to do, because you are just leveraging on what you have in your configuration file. So what is your file that is now determining it's determining the how reduced your work will be. So because whatever change you make in it in your configuration file, which is easier to do, it's so small compared to if you have to make a change if you are using activities to build um, your work. Okay, so that's the reason for choosing project maintenance. It's um, it's more efficient than project maintenance is efficient, because you don't have to change content over and over. So and with Excel, as a configuration file, you can easily do that. That's the reason for this.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello,
Lucky.
sir.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, well done, sir.
The comment as well.
Literally, the configuration file is the default file.
Is the default file, and if you want to change it, you can.
Okay.
But the configuration file
But
is the default file for
good.
this template. For this template.
So invariably, the project file is the one. It depends on that default.
Yes.
Okay. I agree with that option.
If something goes wrong with at this point, at this initialization stage, which is the very first stage, it's just end. The whole process will just end. As in, it just. So that means that, for instance, if you don't have your configuration file in place, there is nothing that your initialization stage will depend on. All right. So if nothing is here, nothing goes there. When you have um, your configuration file well configured, as it were, for your work, then it comes to get transaction data. Get transaction data itself. Let me double click on this to see, as it looks like a small a small box, and then but it's
Sorry, are we still in the class? I can't hear anything.
Hello.
Hello. We're in the class.
Okay.
But I guess it's from his end.
Oh, they're recording this class. My network has been.
hello.
We are hearing you, sir. We can hear you.
We can hear you now.
All right. Sorry. So sorry. Internet technical issues. The device that is supplying my internet is just tripping off. Coming on okay now. So, all right. So, okay. Let me just screen sharing has stopped right now. Okay, all right. So that's the Reason for the choice of project maintenance is efficient. Changing the content of a config file is easier than changing the project. I believe we stated 46. Which is the best workflow type for the following problem statement? We need to automate a logistics process that pairs goods in several warehouses with transporters according to certain rules. It configures shipments, it calculates cost, and sends daily orders. The process is continuous. So,
Take a chart, sir.
okay, more views and objections.
Flow chart, sir. Flow chart, sir.
Okay.
That is
State machine.
flow chart.
Okay, we have flow charts. We have state machine. Okay, just those two, flow charts, state machines, and then so why are we going for flow charts? Why are we going for state machine?
It says it is a continuous process. So it's flow chart. It will actually be easier to loop it.
Okay, of course, in state machines like flow charts, more complex than flow charts. It embraces the models of flow charts. So that means that state machine too is complex. It's continuous. Okay, and state machine. Why did you say state machine? I don't want to say anything. What did you say state machine? Well, the scenario here it looks complex.
Yes.
And then you have to consult so many aspects, as in different departments, different work, different operations at different locations. Now, we need to automate a logistics process that pairs goods in several warehouses with transporters according to certain rules. This is not just about a line of operation. Okay, it configures shipments, like takes decisions, not just takes decisions, of course. It looks okay. It considers even data entry, and then uses it to take the other decisions, and then it calculates cost, as it does different things. All right, so and after that it now sends daily orders. The process of what to fit in without wasting time. State machine will do this. Flowchart, this is more complex for flowchart. Flowchart will do an aspect of this, but it cannot do everything. It has to be what's it called now? State machine. I want to see if I can remove this. Let's just quickly say something about state machine. Sorry, my system seems slow. State machine. Okay, so we have this. Uh, okay, so we have this. This is a way of opening state machine. You can also get it from the activities. Uh, State machine. Alright, so we have state, all these other state machine. State machine itself, the state, the final state. We are not doing anything on this, just to see what obtains here. All right, so and once you bring it in, it comes into a sequence, and then it looks like, but the sequence seems like a low order or a lower order workflow. All right, that is the way it's been designed in Studio. Now, of course, every work must exist within a framework. Okay, so so then you have, if you double click this, you'll see a flow chart, okay, being brought into it, being reviewed, and everything still seems passive. You can bring states to establish your state. Now there are different parts, but this is not the focus at all. This is not the focus of the question of the class, but just for us to see state machine, all the state machine we're talking about. If you double click on state, the state I brought in, it gave this. You can see state. It has three basic functionalities: the entry, the exit, the transition, or maybe I should say the entry, the transition, and the exit. I will explain what I mean. The exit is like,
Sir, we cannot hear you, sir.
apologies, please. All right, so that is about state machine, the entry, and here within this entry, you can have a lot. As in, you can have, you can have anything, whatever it is. As in, like you can bring in a whole
Hello, sir.
sequence chart. Yes,
Hello, sir.
hello. Yeah.
Mario, we didn't get you. You said you want to explain the exit first. We did get you.
Okay, no. I think I started with the entry. The entry, anyway, the basic thing is that the state has three aspects: the entry, the exit, the transition. Okay, now the entry is the set of codes that that when that was take place when you are entering a new state. All right, the now before you move out, there must be a transition. Well, I don't know why this transition is here, but then there is a transition that must take place between the entry and the exit. It's like conditions. It's like you are establishing, um, conditions. Okay, like see properties. Okay, so now you have the exit. Exit is like what we what should happen that will make the state to exit. Entry is what should happen that will make the state to open up, and the transition is like the condition that we inform the movement from entry to exit. So for instance, maybe you want a user to answer a number of questions, so you can populate your entry with whatever you must answer this question. After you have answered this question, and if it meets this requirement, okay, then based on that, based on that um, based on if it has if it's meeting up um, with the requirement, then let there be a transition from this to exit. So at the exit, what should happen when let's say maybe when there is an output that your form has been properly filled or something, at that point let there be an exit. So this it is when this executes that we exit, that will make this state to be exited. It is when all these have been executed, when they are executed, that's what we usher in this state, and the transition is simply the conditions involved. Okay, so that's why am I even talking about? I think it was these questions that brought us there, because in state machine it's a complex complex state indeed. So state machine we do in this scenario, in this complex statement. 47. You are working on a UiPath automation which includes getting and filtering mail messages. Which activity is used for this? Get IMAP mail, get Outlook, get exchange mail messages, get POP3 mail messages. Okay, yeah, it's already it's get Outlook mail messages.
Outlook mail.
Yes, even on the like on the normal ground, the user end, Outlook will help you filter messages from different nodes. All right. Yeah, 48. When working with selector properties within UiPath, which argument type does it accept? We have system dot string and everything you
System
are
dot
seeing on screen.
System dot string, sir.
system
Oh,
dot string.
oh, okay, all right.
Sorry,
49.
please, I want to confirm
Okay,
the answer for the
yes,
question before this one.
okay, this one. Is it this?
No, the state machine.
Yes, it's state machine.
Okay, sir.
And it's state machine. Okay, here. Consider the string variable letters. Hello world, it's me. What value would the expression text dot substring parentheses open 4, 6 parentheses close bracket close? What will it return? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 0,
A.
okay, A.
A.
Okay, so from 0 it counts 6 characters. 0, I mean, is it 0 or O?
No, 4.
Sorry, I think
If you
it's O. You say what?
Oh.
Oh, thank
4.
you. O space 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stops at L. Okay, so A has it. 50. Identify the missing words in the following sentence within the context of UiPath Academy. That thing is a specific search pattern that can be used to easily match, locate, and manage text. Creating that thing expression will be challenging. They have already exposed themselves. What is that in expression?
The
So,
regular expression.
I believe, and so now, this one does not need Agbari. Okay, UiPath Studio contains that thing builder that simplifies the creation of regular. It's alright. So it's regular. Let's check. It's regular expression. Alright, and that will be the end of this this one. Of course, we still have another one. This. Oh, sorry. Are we tired?
No, sir, not at all, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. I think I'm the one that needs Fanta. I've been talking since, and my saliva seems drying. This friction is being applied. I think the viscosity level is has increased. Okay, so we
Yes,
have this. Don't mind. Sorry for. Now you send me work.
we said it.
I brought myself in now. Okay. All right. So yes, we have this. We are wasting time, which are valid options in the solve conflict window. Solve conflict window. That has to do with version control. Okay. You have this option of
Sorry, sir, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. We're with you, sir.
I've said I've apologized and I'm tired of apologizing.
Don't it, sir.
I don't know if you have found yourself in that state before. When you are tired of apologizing, just switch to bold face. That's very So I want to use bold face now. As if nothing happened. Though something happened. Alright, please. So still accept my apologies. Alright, which are valid options in the solve conflict window? Then the second one is select between keeping the remote or the local version of the workflow. Select between keeping the remote or the local version of each individual activity. So this is about, definitely it's about remote or local version. Then this one is about activity groups. This one is about version of the workflow. This one is about each individual activity. Okay, so
I think C is correct.
the workflow, because the code, that's where the code is, okay, and that's what we are trying to, that is being controlled. Yeah. We have this. You have been
Sir,
given.
what is the correct
Sorry.
option?
I assume a lot.
That number one.
Yes, it is C.
C.
Yes, I said that. What we control in the what version control system deals with is to control the. It's not controlling your. Essentially, what it's controlling is the version of your codes. That's just that way. It's not controlling your codes. It's not doing anything about your codes. You are not doing any coding or anything, review nothing. It's about the version. Because
Hello, sir.
yeah, hello.
Sir, can you show us the solve conflict windows, sir?
Okay, yeah. Let me. Have you seen this before?
Not really, sir.
Okay.
Not really, sir.
Yes, sir. We
Let's
saw it
try.
when we were doing replace.
It was
Replace of
not. It
code.
was. It was not as much as this. What's
Yes.
let's see. Okay, I think we have this JIT stuff that we can easily use. So don't go. Okay. Hey, so sorry. Okay, see what I can do. Get Chrome with HTTPS. Copy the address. Come to come here. Come to team. Okay, so select this folder, select the window. There should be a commit changes window that will pop up. That file of that time, that's what we are bringing in now. Okay, manage remotes. So the name, I can put it as let me just put no, and the URL. What I copied in the Git repository. Hard save. Oh, okay, let me see. Projects. Let me come to show history and see conflicts. Okay, let me try to make. There's nothing to commit. I just want to make a little review. Details here. Save. Okay, so one change is reflecting. Okay, while this is done, let me commit. Let me commit first. Second version. It's dialog. Commit and push. So I can go to Git repository and refresh. stream. Solve conflict, solve conflict changes. I want to see what of things at this is mainly about the codes. It's not, this is like the codes, the main file. Like the studio. Give me two versions. It should show me versions of changes that have been done. This is okay.
I think it's under the branch. Yes. Rebase.
The windows should come up, should pop up. Yeah, that's where should let me make another change here. Let's see. Save. I have to push it. I'm not coming to push. Comments.
Hello? Can someone hear me?
You can hear you, Clark.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. That means Auto Ebenezer is not available. Is the one not speaking?
It's the network. It's his network.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Old face. Old face as usual. Uh, sorry. Hello?
Yes, sir. We're with you, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, sorry, I, in the same boat face. Show on version files, check it. If you uncheck it, or whichever way, if you have show changes, okay, you right click on this. Okay, this should bring it up. Okay. Yeah, yeah. This should. So what really obtains here is that in input dialog, okay, a change has been made with respect to this is the latest, this is the local. All right, so a change has been made, and it is at the label section of input dialog um, activity. These are the various codes. The what has been modified is in dark color yellow or orange. Okay, so it's then so it doesn't have the okay. Okay, so this is where we should be able to resolve conflicts that exist. So we may decide to, where is it now? Collapse now, expander. Where is this now? Okay, yeah. Okay, so when I've seen changes, amend commits, commit and push. Replace. All right, so eventually, sub conflicts for the main file. So if I want to save this, if I want to save this now, the change has been made by someone else, so I can decide to say, okay, save it. If I don't want it, well, I don't, then I ignore save. So if I want it saved so that I can, what exists in other versions elsewhere, um, other local repository, I can pull it into my own machine, my own device. Then I can save it. So it's there will be a, what was it called, a resolution, okay, amongst all the various versions. Yeah, sorry, it took a long journey. So that's the save conflict Windows. Yeah, that is it. Question 2. Hello? Hello? I don't know. Everywhere is quiet.
Yes, sir. We can hear you,
Okay,
sir.
okay, all right. Okay. You have been given the task to send the current date value out.
Hello, sir. We can't hear you again, sir.
His own network today is really a challenge. Oh. We can't really hear him.
Serious. He's even out right now. He's out.
Yeah. And it's almost time. This 10 minutes to 10.
Sorry, that should be the last apology. I've got to seek another internet source.
So we categorize the process as a state machine. The exit, entry, and the whatever, the last one that you just explained. That is what is work is affecting your network now. You are going in, coming in.
I was trying to browse the internet to see what I'm going to reply you with. I'm browsing through my brain right now. Lucky.
Yes, sir.
I need something very solid. I don't want something liquid because you have thrown it at me. I need to get you something hard. Okay, well, that will be the last. I've connected to another source. That one was failing me. Okay, yeah, sorry, scattered. All right, we've been given the task to set the current date value outside of an invoked workflow, which is a good name. Okay, which is a good name for the argument. Yeah, you say?
Can't see your screen.
Oh God. It's lucky, oh. It's lucky.
Yeah. B.
Okay. Yeah, this is it. Yes, you have been given the task to set the current date value outside of an invoked workflow. Which is a good name for the argument. As in, what are they looking for?
Best practice.
But you get it. You are there. You are there. So which is a good name for the argument. So best practice, of course, the in and out. That's okay. So is it not going to be in or out? So that's another point of
out current date. Out current date.
Okay. Yeah. So here it's out current date. All right. Let's still look at what you can do. Where are we? 3. I think we should move. In most of the cases in which the selectors automatically generated are not reliable, but fine-tuning will solve the issue. However, there are some other situations that we call difficult. Consider the examples of the UI element that changes state, position, or ID every time the workflow is run. Which of the below are other approaches which do not use automatically generated selectors? So select 3. Let me see, there is another. Okay. Oh, plenty. Okay.
Anchor please.
Okay. We have element selector counting it from below. Attach window, anchor, base, visual tree, hierarchy, attach browser, UI Explorer, relative selector, property explorer. These are approaches which of the below are the approaches which do not automatically generate, which do not use automatically generated selectors.
I think relative to why you have to edit something.
Yeah? You see?
I mean the relative selector. But I think you have to
Oh.
edit something.
Did you mention relative selector?
Yes, sir. I'm sure of anchor base.
Okay. so that the selections will not affect our judgment. All right, so the approaches that do not do not use automatically generated selectors. Oh. Okay, class. Yes, I'm with you. I'm all ears. Oh, it's almost 10. So,
I think it's relative.
yes, you have mentioned you have only mentioned one.
Then anchor base, but I don't think that one uses a selector. I'm not sure of that. Because I don't think it's
What shall we do at this point? We still have some grounds to cover. Okay, I think we'll just leverage on existing materials and other things. It's okay. Oh, hello, hello,
well, it is.
hello.
You can
Okay, I
use.
didn't hear
Yes, I'm
anything.
here with
Okay, I didn't hear anybody.
them. We don't have the idea. I don't have the idea.
Okay, managing difficult selector approaches would need, like, I think someone mention uh, relative selector. I think someone mentioned relative selector. Joe, that means we also fit in. And the visual tree hierarchy. You actually, don't let me say you know them. Um, I cannot talk for you. Well, I just want to remind you. Maybe if you see the picture of like the visual tree hierarchy. Let me open it. Let's take it. Just want to bring something else. Okay, let me just push it here. Maybe you have seen something like this. Yes. Okay, no problem. Still select it. What is important is if we take it from UI Explorer. Okay, so the way long and short, the anchor base, the relative selector, the visual tree hierarchy will help us to um, capture very difficult elements that require reliable selector. And we know that of anchor base, other find elements you have done activities alongside that. Relative selector, visual tree hierarchy, those three um, we actually working. There is another one that is called find children, but it's not part of the option. And it's a pity I cannot release this. I don't know what other form I can use to. Maybe I'll think of other means of releasing this. What's it called now? This question in a way that it will not look like copyright. It will look copyleft or copy center. I will think of a way. I will think of a way out. Right. So that's about this. UI Explorer is like a generic. Is like an umbrella. So relative selector. This is an activity. It's not an approach. Visual tree hierarchy, anchor base. This one should fit in. Which of the following are you able to utilize when directly adding variables to the watch panel? Oh, to the watch panel. This is under debugging. Okay, so oops. Okay. States must have at least one. Okay, sorry. I'm using the very wrong. Okay. Let me check for another work. Okay. print dialog boxing. Sorry, I'm using both pace. It's past 10 already. I'm using assign. Another assign or message box. And then I'm going to apply breakpoints. Okay. And then it's going to true, which is okay. So for this, the variables panel, the watch. You notice there was a time I was trying to use the watch panel to add to directly add to directly add variables to add to the activity that was being executed, to add values to what's being currently executed. So the watch panel helps us to achieve that. Of course, the local panel, that's like the general assembly where you have everything about the entire code system, all the activities. You see everything, the argument, the variables, the name. It reveals everything. It's like the general ground. All right, so I believe you still get this question to yourself, so that will help a lot. This is just question 4. We have so many questions, so I promise I will get something out pushed to us. I don't know what form. Maybe it's off record.